Okay, today we're going to talk about figurative language. We're going to review different types of figurative language that we have discussed throughout the year. In our classes, we did this with our Do Now, and then in all of our classes, we did study them in our unit for Frederick Douglass. You've probably also discussed these in other class years as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the different figurative languages we're going to talk about today. So today we're going to review simile, metaphor, hyperbole, onomatopoeia, personification, alliteration, allusion, idiom, and oxymoron. First, we're going to take a look at a simile. A simile is a comparison of two unlike things using like or as. For example, she was as fast as lightning. You're comparing a girl to how fast she is, which is she's as fast as lightning. So you're comparing her to the lightning using as. His feet were as big as boats. You're comparing his feet to boats, saying that they're as big as boats. Again, using as the comparison word. A metaphor also compares, but it states that one thing is something else. It does not use like or as. The class is a circus. You're comparing the class to a circus, again, not using like or as a word to connect them. She was a free bird. You're comparing she to a free bird, again, not using like or as. Hyperbole is a statement of extreme exaggeration to show emphasis. It does not always compare two unlike things. For example, my backpack weighs a ton. Okay, so you're giving a little bit of an exaggeration there. Your backpack is probably pretty heavy, but it does not actually weigh a ton. I could eat a horse. Again, you're probably pretty hungry, but could you eat an entire horse? Probably not. So that is an exaggeration. Those would be examples of hyperbole. Onomatopoeia, words that make a sound. Whack, sniff, vroom, buzz. Those are all examples of onomatopoeia. So when you say the word, you think of the actual sound that word would make. Personification. Personification gives human characteristics to everyday ideas, objects, and animals. For example, the sun danced across the sky. Can a sun actually dance? No, that's a human trait. So that would be an example of personification. I gave that human characteristic to the sun. The leaves raced to the ground. Can leaves actually race one another? No, that again would be a human characteristic given to those leaves. So those would be examples of personification. Alliteration. That's a repetition of the same letter at the beginning of a succession of words. The tutor who tooted a flute tried to tutor two footers to toot. So the two to their tutor, is it harder to toot or to tutor two footers to toot? A lot of T sounds in there. That would be alliteration. You may have also heard the phrase, Sally sells seashells by the seashore. That's also alliteration using the letter S. An allusion is a reference to a well-known person, place, or thing. So in your writing, if you were to make a reference to something that would be well-known, that you assume the person reading would know, that's considered an allusion, such as the Chicago skyline, or Lizzo, or the Statue of Liberty. Those are things that you would believe most people would understand and know about, so if you make a reference to it, it is an allusion. An idiom is a phrase or expression that means something different from what the words actually say. So the test was a piece of cake. Okay, so the test might have been easy, which is what you're trying to say. It wasn't actually a piece of cake, but it means that it was easy. Other examples of idioms are up in the air. So if your plans are up in the air, they're not floating up in the air around you. It's just saying that you're not really sure what's going to happen. We're on the same page. We're not actually standing on a page together in a book. We're just saying that we are in agreement about something. That costs an arm and a leg. Okay, that's probably something that's very expensive, but you're not actually using your arm and a leg to pay for it. An oxymoron is a pair of words that contradict each other to give an idea about something. Awfully good. Now, awfully and good are two contradicting words, but you're trying to say that something's very good. Deafening silence. Again, deafening would mean that's very loud. Silence is obviously very silent. So if you're saying deafening silence, you're saying that's huge amounts of silence, lots of silence. Clearly confused. Again, clear means that you understand. Confused means you don't understand. If you're clearly confused, it's just basically saying that you're very much confused. It's obvious you're confused. Okay, these are all the different types of figurative language that we have discussed, and you're going to use these terms to help you solve puzzles in a virtual escape room. You're going to need to help the alien decipher clues to help him get back to his spaceship on time. That is the escape room. So good luck, and remember your figurative language.